sin if you're still here. We're always late on this channel.
Yes, our channel should be called Late to the Party.
Yes, it should. Remember those guys? Yes, Ian. Ian. Look for the Cartoon Network rip-off logo here. It's very cool though, isn't it?
Yes, it's very cool indeed, John. I'm just
I do
waiting
say so
for
myself.
their lawyers getting in touch with us big guns
Yours
on
is
YouTube.
better.
Yeah.
This is black and white.
Hello and welcome on in to this Monday's edition of Entertainment News here at MBE, folks. Lol indeed, sin. Welcome on in. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin.
Please sponsor us.
We don't get sponsored with them, unfortunately. We don't get any money from them, unfortunately.
Edinburgh,
and I
as
wish
you would probably say, son.
I wish they would. That's a good beer, John.
Edinburgh.
And I'm joined, as always, in his Celtic colours. It's John C. Walsh. How are you doing, John?
Yes, I had a fleece on, Stephen. I
Yes.
went down a fleece rabbit hole. This one doesn't fit quite as well, though. Riding up. And it does that annoying thing that some jumpers and fleeces do. When you sit down, it rumps. And it makes you look like a fat man.
Yeah.
Just like Brendan Fraser in The Whale.
That's
Did
a
you
good-
see what I did there?
That's a good transition. Guess what we're talking about tonight, guys? We're talking about Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Now, John, we just watched the emotional speech
We
there
did.
from the big man. And
The
it
big
was probably about a minute long, maybe just short of a minute, but what an emotional minute it was for this guy. John, both of us love this guy. I think we love him even more now. We were fans of him 20 years ago.
I grew up with Brendan in The Mummy, but I had seen Encino Man.
Yeah.
But it wasn't called
Yeah.
Encino Man over here.
No, it's California.
California.
Because
yeah.
us dunderheads would not know what Encino meant.
But I liked
then.
that
We
movie.
didn't have Google Earth back in 1992.
You must remember I grew up on a diet of those 80s movies.
Yeah.
Like Weird Science
Yeah.
and things like that. So I had a real affection for those kind of stupid coming of age, kind of silly movies, which Encino Man was. And obviously Brendan, big part of that, carried that movie.
Yeah.
So I've been a huge fan of Brendan for a number of years. And I'm just so glad, Stephen, this guy's back in the game. He never left, but he's back in the top of his game.
Yeah.
He's getting recognition, and he's not the sort of butt of the joke. Whatever happened, why Hollywood stopped casting Brendan Fraser, click here to find out. You click on it, and it's like 40 slides
Yeah.
telling you a story
Yeah.
of why Brendan Fraser's no longer getting cast in movies. Well, he is now.
John, you'd see those links and the clickbait that would come in for those sort of things, and I never touched them because I thought that's clickbait. But it does make me wonder. It does make me wonder where did, I'm not saying where did it go wrong, because that's subjective. In every actor's career, it depends on how they define success, I suppose. In terms of Brendan Fraser, John, we can only speak from the inside or the outside in. And
Is that a white hair coming through my moustache here?
Keoghan, it's a very similar journey as well for that chap as well, who went into stunt coordinating in the X-Men films. Just couldn't get
cast
work.
because he was Asian.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there was a sort of anti-Asian sentiment in Hollywood by all accounts. 20 years out of acting. Also the round table, I assume you've watched that video now, Stephen.
Yeah.
He speaks about that. He
Yeah.
just simply couldn't be cast. And he had to go to film school, I think it was, learn how to do behind the camera work to stay in the industry. Finally gets his break, and the man's just eating up the awards.
Yeah.
I've not seen his speech, but I'm telling you, I didn't know a huge amount about him because I've never seen The Goonies. I have seen Indiana, but it's a sort of throwaway performance, isn't it? It's like a
little kid. Yeah, you got it in The Mummy Returns, actually.
He's some guy, man.
Yeah,
He is a brilliant guy. He
He's-
speaks really well. He's
he's
a very humble,
aged
genuine.
brilliantly as well.
I just loved Stephen. These two guys, Brendan Fraser and Keoghan.
Well, they
I'm
were
going to
both
butcher his name.
in
Keoghan.
Yeah, I think he had a stage name of Jonathan at one point as well.
Just call me Dave.
Yeah.
He was a
Both
football
of them
player.
were in Encino Man. He had a very small role, as I recall.
Well, the round table. Brendan apparently they had a moment where they hugged each other and says we're still here. I thought that was special.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
John, this moment as well was special. Comeback star
course.
Brendan Fraser gave an emotional acceptance
man.
speech as he picked up the Best Actor prize at the Critics' Choice Awards for The Whale. I was in the wilderness. I probably should have left a trail of breadcrumbs, but you found me, Fraser said to director Darren Aronofsky. The Mummy actor has drawn praise for his portrayal of a depressed and morbidly obese man in the film. Fraser is hotly tipped to get an Oscar nomination later this month.
Oh, he's getting an Oscar nomination later this month.
He said this, John, if you like a guy like Charlie, who I played in this movie, is in any way struggling with obesity, or you just feel like you're in dark sea, I want you to know that if you can have the strength to get...
Now, Steve, give us your best acting chops here.
...feet and go to the light, good things will happen, Fraser said to the standing ovation. John,
you need to do your best Brendan Fraser there. I'll give you the glasses here.
I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
You'll not see.
This came from the heart, John. You know,
it did.
And he said this movie, The Whale, is about love. It's about redemption. It's about finding the light in a dark place. John, I can't wait to see this film. I've seen so many reviews on it.
Yeah.
I've seen so many versions of the trailer as well, because I just can't get enough of seeing different things from this film. And
well, Stephen, obviously there's a lot of movies now appearing again and again in these awards ceremonies, getting multiple nominations, everything everywhere all at once being won. Yeah. I'm holding back watching that movie because I'm feeling that we could do a watch along and get content out of it.
I think so. We could do it this week.
We could literally do that instead of me just sitting watching it on my lonesome.
It makes sense.
It's on Prime.
Yeah.
So I'm holding back from watching.
And we can give our thoughts. Yeah.
Glass Onion's another one. So on Netflix, could do a watch along to Glass Onion.
Yeah.
And get content out of it for the actual channel.
Yeah,
what would be the point in fucking sitting watching it on my
and just kind of having a brief discussion about it?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes sense, and also split it into 4 or 5 parts.
Maybe do that Thursday or something like that.
That's something to think about, because that's one that I'm really looking forward to seeing as well, and obviously Keoghan in that.
Yeah.
The Whale, I don't know if The Whale's, I don't think that's available on stream, so that's maybe one you'll have to go and watch.
Yeah, that's it.
And I will go and watch it. If it's in the theatres right now, I have to see it. I've just been to IMAX a couple of days ago to see Avatar finally. Yeah. Obviously Avatar's not... It's not in contention for Best Picture or Best Screenplay.
Yeah. You said that though, John.
It's a fucking great film, man. I really enjoyed it.
The story's good.
No, it is a good story. And obviously the underlying themes in that story about humanity, where they are just now, they've lost themselves. That gets explored beautifully by Jim in that movie. But it's not on the level, it's not meant to be a drama like The Whale. So it's not in contention. Point I'm making is I've got the bug again. Back in the theatre again. Big screen, proper IMAX, laser.
Sin says, I love Fraser, but I have no plans to see The Whale. Glad he's getting recognised and appreciated again. Yeah, definitely.
I think to see it. We have to.
I think The Whale's it's one of those films that you're either going to sort of go out your road to see, or you're not going to bother seeing it at any
it's
point.
Like Father.
Yeah.
I think it's the kind of movie you have to be in the right state.
I agree,
to go and watch.
Yeah,
There's movies that I've seen once and I've got no desire to go back and see
again. The Father
again.
is one of them, John.
The Father, just because it's touched both our lives, Steve. We've had
it's
family members
emotionally draining, that film,
with that horrific disease.
Probably the last time I was really choked at a film, actually. Those moments at the end, he's talking about the leaves. Oh wow, Hopkins, man, and no wonder we put him where we did in that. He is goat.
Tony is a goat.
Yeah.
In more ways than one, that man is winning at life. He's a composer as well.
Yeah.
He's well versed in music. He composed a piece which he went to Andre Rieu and his Johann Strauss orchestra to bring to life. First time he'd heard it. The waltz goes on. It's fucking great. The man is a phenom.
Multi-talented man, from Wales.
From Wales, yes.
Yeah, and I don't come from Wales. John, we're going to move on unless you've got anything else to say.
Us from killing each other. Tom Jones. I would never throw my knickers at you, and I don't come from Wales.
Blast from the past.
No, Steve, look, really looking forward to this movie. I kind of get it all out my system early doors with this topic. Just to say that Brendan, great to see he's getting recognition, because he is a great actor. And he deserves it. Yep. And look, this is just great for the sort of oldies. I don't know how old Brendan is. I may be doing him a disservice.
50, he's in his late 50s, I think.
Late 50s, so the sort of older gentleman. It's proof that no matter where you are in your life, what crossroads you are at in terms of your career, you may be out in the wilderness, you can come back. And you can have real success. Keoghan, I'm butchering his name, I know I am. And Brendan are proving that.
Keoghan
Kwan.
Yeah, that's how I would say it.
Yeah, that's how it's probably says. Just proof that you can come back.
Yeah.
And you will, if you are good enough, get real recognition. just because you're out in the wilderness, don't give up. That's why his speech was so special, so poignant, because it's almost mirroring his life. He was in a dark sea, and he stood up and was given a chance.
John, that's how
brought
I get
to the light by Darren.
That's how I get quite not emotional, but I sit up and listen to that sort of monologue from Sly Stallone and Rocky Balboa when he says the world's a nasty place and it'll kick you and keep you down if you let it. And I think that was a personal thing, you know, and in this case it's real life. This obviously it's a speech, it's not a movie line or anything like that, but Sly did write it, and I think he wrote it from the heart. That's why I could not replicate that impersonation of Brendan Fraser, because it was so. Fraser's 54, so he's mid 50s.
54, yeah.
Yeah. I just wish the guy good luck. I hope there's more to come for the guy as well in terms of projects. I
think it's easier for someone like Brendan to get back in. See if it was a sort of female equivalent. I think it's much harder for a woman in Hollywood who's been sort of kicked out into the long grass to come back and have a real successful career. It seems to be a much harsher industry for women. Males can come in and get success later on.
Rare exceptions would be the likes of Meryl Streep or something like that, but I don't
Judi
think
Dench,
Meryl's ever had a sort of a lull in her career. She's never went sort of disappeared off the radar the way that obviously Brendan did. But you're absolutely right, John. I think it's tougher for females to sort of come back to that kind of level. We're seeing Brendan Fraser coming back to, but that's Hollywood for you.
Tony Hopkins, you're speaking about Tony Hopkins. I think he was the oldest Academy Award winner 2 years back for The Father. What was 2 years ago he won, wasn't it?
How we didn't rate that film top, I don't know.
Who won the best actor last year? I seem to just lose track of the Oscars last year. I lost track of Western film last year completely. The year before, perhaps, getting into last year. Who the fuck won for best actor?
I honestly can't
remember. Because I genuinely was stunned that Jessica Chastain was an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
We spoke about Chastain being an Oscar winner.
Look that up, John. Just I can't remember. I honestly can't remember.
Bring this up.
I don't think we covered the Academy Awards last year either, because
we didn't, because we were miles off it, Steve.
We kind of Coda. Best Picture.
Yeah, Coda, I remember that. Yeah, that was the Will Smith won best. Fucking hell, John, the slap.
Well, was that a year ago? Jeez, oh.
The one about Serena Williams and Venus Williams, he played the father.
The dad,
of course I remember
Richard,
that. I do remember. That was just a bit of dementia there.
Yeah. I can't believe that's nearly a year ago.
Chastain was the one that surprised me. She was a brilliant actor, but I genuinely didn't realise she'd won. Power of a Dog, that was the Cumberbatch sort of...
Yeah, Jane Campion, best director. Yeah.
That was the Western, wasn't it? That was getting shit from young mustachioed actor, Sam...
Yeah, Elliot.
He was giving me shit.
Elliot Gould's. He's Ross and Monica's dad.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, he was talking shit, chatting shit about this. This is not a proper Western. But do you have to be a sort of tough white guy?
Yeah.
I suppose that is sort of historically accurate. Come on, no, it's fucking art, cinema, bitch.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Anyone can be who they want to be.
Shut up, Sam.
But John, we're going to move on to next.
I'll shave that fucking moustache off.
I'll rip it off your face, mate. Our next topic. I'm trying to do this in a sort of pacey way, so when I do clip it, it's a bit more natural than just going right into it. So I'm going to just give it a little intro. And John, for our next topic, we're going to be talking about the Batman star Barry Keoghan.
Yes.
Once more of his Joker in the sequel. Now, this is coming in from Screen Rant.
Don't ask me about his pronunciation.
The last article I spoke about was from the BBC.
Stephen, I'm meant to go through all of those fucking Critics' Choice Awards. I had the nominations up. I was going to do a bit on it. It's too late now.
Yeah, well, the moment's passed.
It's too late. It's a shame.
I've got another show to record.
We have.
So, the Batman... As we know,
me.
they did not use the Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, which I'm glad they didn't, because it was a different time period. Opting for yet another new portrayal of the character with Keoghan.
Ring you up,
plans to justify in the sequel. The actor is very excited about the prospect of a Joker return in the Batman 2 with Keoghan, claiming he has done his research on the character and that he wants to show it to the audiences. This is what he said. Obviously, I'd love another crack. I've got a ton of back work done on him. If an opportunity does arise, but they make the call and you've got to respect that. Definitely, because I've got a few other things I'd love to bring. Actually, I have this little half moleskin book I've written a lot in already, and so I want to show people what that is. It's actually sounds like he's done his research on Heath Ledger.
Sounds like Heath fucking Ledger, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
John,
Heath Ledger had a book. He had a book.
I want Keoghan I want him to do this. I just don't want him to do it in the second act of this continuation of the original film.
I want Egghead, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, is this the Nick Cage one?
I want Nick Cage as a villain.
We've all said keep the Joker till last. Even give him something in this if you want. Did we see him in the film, or was it all cut? I can't remember.
No, he was in the film.
He was in it, yeah.
Yeah, he was. It was an end credits.
Yeah.
Was it end credits?
No, I don't think it was. I think
it was an end credit with him and the Riddler. Yeah. The Riddler got brought into
it was
Arkham,
very brief, wasn't it?
And they share a little moment. It was an interrogation scene.
Yeah.
But he basically
because we have seen
on him.
The full scene, obviously, with Robert Pattinson, haven't we?
When I say goes to town, I mean the Joker goes to town on Bruce.
Yeah.
And basically says to him, "Do you not know who this is? You are him, bitch." There is a moment of sort of acknowledgement from the Joker that he seems to know that it's Bruce, and that's something I've always been intrigued by with their relationship.
Yeah.
The Joker, what makes the Joker such an interesting character for me is this concept that he's self-aware. Even in the comics, he seems to be aware of the fact that he's a fucking comic book character, and that it gives him carte blanche to do whatever the fuck he wants. Heath Ledger tapped into that. You see, I'm not insane. I'm just ahead of the curve.
He didn't know if Bruce Wayne was Batman, though,
because
that was part of the plot, wasn't it?
But in that, the Batman, he seems to be a little bit of knowing.
Aware of it, yeah.
He seems to know that it's Bruce, and he's then saying, "Look, I know that you are Batman. I know this guy is Riddler. I know his backstory. I know how you have impacted on his life, how you are intrinsically linked." He seemed to know. So that's something that's going to be interesting to tap into in a future movie.
Yeah.
But Stephen, I'm with you. I don't want to see this in the middle movie.
No.
It would just...
It's one of the things
it's going to set up another Dark Knight Rises.
It was the only negative in that, a perfect trilogy, almost perfect trilogy, I should say, was having the Joker in the second act rather than the third act. Because anything that came after that performance was a bit subpar to me. And I think it's fair to say that Bane's a great villain, and I think Tom Hardy did an excellent job on it. But it was just
obviously Marion Cotillard, was that?
She was the real villain. Yeah. I can't remember Italia. Yeah,
Talia al Ghul. Yeah,
I was about to say Talia Shire. do.
That's good, but it's not great. It goes like this: do. Do. Yeah, that's good, but it's not great.
Can you imagine Adrian Balboa being a villain in a Batman film?
Stephen, I can't listen. See if she was in that fucking. See if we do an actress tier list. She's going straight to the act.
How was she in The Godfather? Probably just not
I can't
memorable.
Even remember her in The fucking Godfather.
Yeah.
It was just the Michael Corleone show.
She's a Coppola as well, isn't she? Yeah.
Is she? Fucking hell,
yeah.
God almighty. That's a sort of a little Mo, Gary Oldman situation again, isn't it?
I think she's a niece.
All the talent
sure.
goes
Maybe
to...
somebody could correct me if I'm way off, but I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember her. Was she the wife of Michael?
She was in all three films, wasn't she?
Well, I genuinely don't even remember her being in The Godfather.
She was definitely.
I've never seen Godfather 3. I get warned off it by Kevin.
I know.
Kevin told me, don't even bother. You've seen the first two, they are fucking great.
The
third one,
this is what we're talking about here. But you peak too soon in a trilogy, that's it. And this is what we're saying.
To be fair, they peaked with the first one, but the second one, somehow they made it absolutely incredible. For me, it didn't top the first one. The first one is one of the greatest movies ever made. And Stephen, you speak about Pacino, he went to GOAT tier. Fucking telling you. I don't know if you ever seen The Godfather, Steve.
I've seen part 2. I've seen
part one.
I've seen part 1, and I wasn't really into it at all. I wasn't really. I think I was too young, John, at the time. I was probably
do you remember Corleone, Michael's shift?
I was probably about 12 at the time, so I think I might have to revisit it again.
The greatest cinematic transformation ever.
It's that one of the ones, John. If I wanted to do a watch along, nobody would believe me if I said second time I watching Godfather. It's been 30 years or whatever. They'd be like, no chance, man.
There is films I have never seen that will shock people.
Yeah,
The Goonies.
Goonies, yeah. I mean, you could do a watch along with that and actually claim first time watching. It'd be
Shall I let the cat out of the bag with the other one?
It's
Goodfellas.
I
have never seen Goodfellas. I have never seen Ray Liotta.
Deer Hunter?
I've seen the performance.
Have you seen the Deer Hunter? De Niro?
Don't think so. There's a lot I've not seen.
Christopher Walken in that? Can't remember.
There is a lot I have not seen. But Goodfellas is a shocking one. Absolutely despicable. And it has to be righted. But yeah, I don't know where we went with that. I don't know why we
John,
went
I was going to mention
a
villain for obviously the second part, the Batman 2, as it's titled at the moment. I don't know if they'll stick with that. I hope they don't. I hope they come up with something really inventive and creative. But Eggman, did you say? Egghead?
Yeah, just
I don't know what it's
Egghead.
called.
I think
Egghead.
I don't know what he's. I don't think it's Egghead. I think it's Eggman. I think you're right. It's Egghead's like a fucking quiz TV show. Isn't
Alright,
it,
okay.
yeah? I think it is anyway. Eggman. Yeah, I'd love to see Nick Cage in a Batman movie going full Tonto,
Yeah, and he can.
pure darkness.
Yeah.
And he's a wacky, campy villain from the TV show, but he'd take it off in a completely different
We've
direction.
seen that, John, in this trailer we've just watched with him playing Dracula.
Yeah.
Which is right down his street. I think if you give him license to be as creative as possible
I'm going to change this.
screen,
Bear with me.
he's the
I'll come off
perfect actor to do it. He's got the range, he's got the zaniness, and he's also got the courage to do it and do it right. That's why we were when we were talking about him last night, or was it last night? I said, when you watch Nick Cage in any film, good or bad the film, he's never the issue.
No.
You don't know what to expect from him. He'll always have this little moment, whether it be a split second of maybe his eyes bulging or something like that, you know, one of those looks he gives. It's just something craziness. The priest scene in Face Off, John, we talk about that quite often.
That was the first time John Travolta had been on set for
Yeah.
Face Off,
Yeah.
and he didn't realise how Nick was going to be playing the character, and he's like, "Oh, you're playing it that way." Fucking thrusting his crotch into crotch, can't even see it, into like what was it? I'm trying to remember.
Choir, I
Yeah,
think.
it was like choir, yeah. And he's like, "There we go, that's how he's playing it.
Yeah.
I've got to play this guy
Yeah.
in the second half of the movie."
He's going to replicate it, isn't he? And vice versa. Yeah.
I do love Nick. He's brilliant. That's why I'd love to see him playing a villain in
Yeah,
Batman. Not
yeah.
just for that, but for the fact that he is a huge fan of comics and obviously the Batman as well. He's getting in Superman, so he knows the source material.
Yeah, he definitely does, yeah.
So you're taking an Academy Award-winning actor and bringing him into a Batman movie as a villain,
Yeah.
and it's an obscure villain. The Joker. Steve, I've just plucked this out of thin air. 10 villains, most likely foes. 10 most likely foes appearing in
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's sequel. I'm just going to go through this briefly to get your thoughts. The Joker, we've kind of discussed that.
Yeah.
Barry Keoghan's fucking amazing. He was brilliant in Banshee of Inisherin, just out there. I think it's Killing of a Sacred Deer, is that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Where he plays a slightly unhinged, psychotic young man.
He's in
That's
the
what I'll say.
Eternals, isn't he?
He's in Eternals.
Yeah.
He's a stupendous actor. He's got that weirdness, the facial tics. He can play an unnerving presence in
And
a
he's
movie.
young.
He's still young. He's
Yeah.
like 28 or something,
Yeah.
27, 28. He's still in his 20s. He's got longevity.
Yep.
Not that that's necessary
No, it's not.
for Joker, because it's probably a one and done.
I'd like to see him appear, though. I would like to see him have
The end of the trilogy.
Yeah, no,
With
well, maybe
the
a
Riddler.
little bit in this, because we got a little sample, just a little bit in the first movie. Maybe double the time in the second movie, and then we get him. And it connects. It's a good connecting tissue.
Just, I want to see Dano back with this guy,
Yeah.
and them both coming up against
Well, the third
Batman
film,
at the
that'd be
end.
incredible, wouldn't it?
And it all connects
Yeah.
in, just
Yeah.
like what Nolan did in his trilogy.
Yeah.
It connects back to the first movie.
Nice trainers. Sneakers.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at them. That's why they've come up with. I was looking at, not them, but the Dunks and the Air Jordans.
Riddler, we've just discussed. Excellent in the first movie. Like to see him come back maybe in the third film in some capacity.
Dano's amazing as well.
He's fantastic, yeah. Love him.
Just, I mean, I'm looking at those
Why
glasses.
he wasn't in that tier thing, I don't understand.
He didn't. You know another
Yeah.
one that should have been in it? Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
Where the fuck was he?
Yeah.
This guy's like one of the modern day great character actors.
Harvey
Not to be
Keitel.
Harvey Keitel's not in there.
Strange,
Paul
isn't it?
Newman's not
I
in
get
there.
they can't put everybody in, you know,
Yeah, but we're putting fucking Humphrey Bogart in.
yeah. John, it was Cary Grant, that other guy
Cary
was.
Grant.
Yeah.
Cary Grant. I don't know
Yeah,
any Cary Grant.
I don't know why it came up.
Who was the guy in the Birds?
I can't
Hitchcock
remember.
movie?
Hitchcock, yeah. The Birds, can't remember.
Was that
Can't
Cary?
remember.
I'll search it up if
Yeah.
I remember. But villains, the Riddler, the Court of Owls. What villains he is?
Too many people, I think.
I think
too
it's
much
just,
going
I
on.
think it's just your man in the
Yeah.
middle though, and these are all sort of
Weird.
gimpish
Aliens.
underlings.
Yeah.
The Penguin.
Penguin.
The Penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Penguin.
I don't know. I mean, are they setting him up for the second film?
Potentially. But he's getting his own spin-off TV show, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, don't know about that.
I know.
And
I'm
again,
not sure. I'm not really that excited about that.
you
To
know,
be
he was
honest
a
with you.
figure of fun in the first movie for me. He
Yeah.
wasn't really to be taken serious. He obviously gets
The car chase was the
molligated in
best
the
part.
car chase, but he gets
Yeah.
fucking left. Treated
Yeah.
like a bitch
Yeah.
by Gordon. and obviously Bruce.
He was in there for world building more than anything, I think. Just
Yeah, it was more John Turturro.
yeah. Oh, he
Carmine
was
Falcone.
really good. Yeah. I didn't
Fucking
realise it
Turturro's
was
doing
him.
another one.
John, I
Should
don't
have
know if
done
you
that
did, but I didn't realise it was him till maybe 3/4 of the way through the film. I went.
Yeah,
I think you said it. I think you.
I
went,
knew he was in
"That's-"
the movie. Yeah, I knew he was in the movie. But it was more the sort of scene where he has his moment with Bruce
Yeah.
in his club.
Yeah.
I'm like, there you go. There's your man, Bane. Don't want to see Bane again.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
nah.
No.
Two-Face, no.
I am Gotham's reckoning.
Yeah, are you? Two-Face, no.
Two-Face. I mean, you're not going to top your man. Aaron Eckhart's, is it what the fuck his name is?
I'm glad you said that because I couldn't remember his
Aaron
name.
Eckhart, yeah.
I liked that spin they did on him, you know, the White Knight thing, you know, and using his sort of his
morality.
image and his morality, to give the city hope. Well, it was all a big lie, you know.
And also the Joker showing that even the purest,
can be
most
corrupted,
morally holistic, is that the right word? Can be corrupted.
Yeah.
But not Batman.
Yeah. The
He's
Trigger
like
twins.
fucking Mark
They
Hamill's
were in the
look.
first film, weren't they? They were the kind of bouncers, like the.
They were, yeah, they're not
Yeah.
going to be fucking fans.
Nah.
Come on, what are you talking about?
Nah.
Direct. The fucking direct.
No.
These two guns.
I barely remember them. It's only because I'm seeing
Did
them
they
now. I
fucking
remember
piss
them.
out of him in the
Yeah.
first movie?
Yeah.
Talking
Nah,
about no
bugger
chance. Alberto Falcone. We can't get back to another Falcone.
No.
I'm not going to bury another Falcone. It's not going to happen. Look at that fucking chin though. It's
Yeah.
like Jimmy Hill.
Yeah.
There's an obscure remark that will go right over most people
It's
watching
a
this
bit like
heads.
David Tennant.
Does
yeah.
look like David Tennant,
Or
yeah.
Hank Azaria.
Yeah, there's a shout. You could David Tennant into actually play the villain, and we know he can play a great villain. We've
Yeah.
seen him in Jessica Jones.
Jessica.
Jessica, get down here, Jessica. Where are you going, Jessica? No, Jessica. Come here, Jessica.
He was good.
It was good.
His
What a
character was
fucking
fantastic.
coat
Yeah.
and suit. Purple, wasn't it?
Yep.
I love David. David's fucking great.
Hush. Looks like the mummy.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I'm not digging
Don't know
this
anything
list, I'm
about
not going to lie.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I wasn't on Boohoo Man, and I certainly wasn't searching for a pink fucking down jacket. So I'm not taking ownership of that. That can fuck right off. I was looking at Air Jordans.
It could be worse, those adverts, John.
They
Mr.
could be worse,
Freeze.
yeah.
Nah.
Really good.
You know, since we had that discussion with Gianni,
You like Mr. No, did he like Mr. Freeze? I can't remember.
I think, you know, when he highlighted the fact that, you know, that, well, he didn't highlight it, we already knew, but he made the point. My voice there. He made the point. He made the point. He made the point. You know that this is detective heavy, and you get someone in like Mr. Freeze. You can't
Mr.
really.
Freeze, yeah,
You
exactly.
can't really do that. Who done it?
I
with
mean,
Mr.
who
Freeze?
is it?
I don't know. Don't know what it's all about, man. I think I need a drink.
You need some medicine gun. That'll keep you nice and sturdy.
Sin says, "Oh my gosh, David Tennant. There's only so much of him I can take."
That's what he does, isn't it, with Doctor Who? Fuck, he like, touches his teeth.
Yep. Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
You know where I love David? I love David in the Harry Potter movie Goblet of Fire. He was in it brief. I think he was in a flashback
probably why.
sequence. He was in a flashback sequence in the Ministry of Magic. I think it was a court sequence. He was a Death Eater and he was trying to kill somebody. And then he came back at the end, he'd escaped and used a Polyjuice potion. This will go right over your head, Stephen. To basically masquerade as Mad-Eye Moody? Mad-Eye Mood? Can't remember. Brendan Gleeson's character. And he comes in at the end. I do love David. I think he's fucking brilliant.
I like
Also
him
being
more
a
than I like
Scotsman
Harry
as well.
Potter, yeah.
And then he also did Who Do You Think You Are? And his reaction to certain parts of his history
Yeah.
just made me like him even more.
It's a good series though, John, because
It's a
it
great
affects
series.
a lot of people in that sense that what background they thought they did have and what they actually did have is two different things. But hi Biffer, how you doing?
Hello.
Biffer the Hobbit.
The Hobbit. Are
Yeah.
you a Hobbit?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Is that the Hobbit as in the 5 Bloods?
Haha.
I want to know if you're a Hobbit.
Yeah. How many breakfasts do you have?
Have you
That's
had
the
any
Catwomen.
Catwoman's?
My voice was about to go again there. I was about to go, Catwoman. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight.
Catwoman's an interesting one because at the end of the Batman, she almost does turn like villain. She
Yeah.
goes rogue. It's a sort of if you're not with me, you're against me vibe.
Yeah.
She wanted
yeah,
to go and
yeah.
kill Carmine, I think. And he's like, no, stop, don't do it. And she basically turned
people.
on him. Stop, don't do it. The people. Stop, don't do it. The people. I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
And look, she's brilliant, Zoe Kravitz. I couldn't believe she was the same age as me. Fuck me, she is aging much. I say this about fucking everybody. As if I'm some haggard motherfucker. Like I'm the old woman from The Shining in the fucking room that attacks. I think it's
Old woman from Donnie Darko.
fucking Donnie Darko, yeah, Grandma Deaf. I speak like I'm fucking Grandma Deaf. I don't look bad. I do not look my age, to be fair. I'm doing myself an injustice. She looks fucking better though.
Yeah.
So does everyone, it seems. It's in the acting or the singing game that's the same age as me. Taylor Swift, Nicholas Hoult, Daniel Radcliffe. All these fucking people look much younger than me. What had they fucking doing?
Sin says, didn't care for him as Doctor Who. He annoyed me in Harry Potter. I did like him in Broadchurch, which was a fantastic series with obviously, we're just talking about her, Olivia Colman. But not in the American version of Broadchurch. I've not seen the American version, but a great series nevertheless.
Biffer is a dwarf from the movie
Yeah.
The Hobbit. You're
Yeah.
absolutely fucking right.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Tolkien man.
Yeah,
Huge Tolkien man. And that went right over my head.
it went over my head, John, but I'm not as big a
I've
fan
got
as you are.
fucking every single book of John Ronald Reuel Tolkien's, and I've got an atlas. It's unacceptable.
He came to one of our local Comic Cons, went to the panel he had with Catherine Tate, was pretty funny. I can imagine that, he's Scottish, we're all funny.
There's some people here who are really not funny.
John, David Tennant, don't remember his real surname, but Tennant he took from Neil Tennant from the Pet Shop Boys.
Did he?
Yeah,
Know that.
so there you are.
I'll
From,
search it up just now.
is he Bathgate? I think he's from Bathgate.
Is he?
I think so.
David Tennant. I spelt his name wrong right off. No, I haven't. I spelt it right. His name was David John Tennant. Was it? McDonald.
McDonald, yeah.
McDonald.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with McDonald. That's a good Scottish name.
David MacDonald.
David John McDonald. That's
Yeah.
as Scottish, the Scottish names you're ever going to get.
Yes. Good.
David Tennant.
Good middle name.
He was on a show, I think it may have been Graham Norton, with somebody, and somebody was trying to get at him, basically saying, I've been in this. He's like, I'm Doctor Who. I'm Doctor, and he's like, not anymore, you're not. Well, he fucking is. So shut your fucking gob, bitch. No, I love David, I do.
Yeah.
I do. He's the man.
How did we get to talking to him? Oh, right, villains, yeah.
Villains, yeah. He could play that guy. I don't know what villain's going to be in this movie, Stephen. I
Mr.
genuinely
Freeze was
don't.
the last one you brought up, John, but...
There was another one. Catwoman
Catwoman, yeah.
and Hush. Never heard of fucking Hush.
I want to see them going somewhere different, to be honest with you. I want to see something...
I want Eggman.
Eggman or maybe Hugo Strange or something like that. Just something totally different.
Hugo Strange.
Something different. Just something... I don't know. Do we need another Cerebro villain in there?
I think we do, Stephen.
Yeah.
I think Gianni's right in what he says, with it being more detective heavy.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves going down a different
Something
kind
that
of
will play
Batman
with
route.
Batman, yeah.
Then it
Yeah.
does have to be cerebral. It's not a word I use in everyday life. That's a classic synonym. That's what I used to do when I was writing reviews. I'd search up another word for brainy, intelligent, cerebral, put that in. Now you've got Grammarly, it does it all
Yeah.
for you.
I don't even use that when I'm writing my own stuff,
Yeah,
John. because
cerebral.
I just write the way I think, really, and it's probably says more about what people will know about what I think. You know, this guy's full of nonsense.
Well, to be fair, I do a power of swearing, and
Yeah.
I have to assure you, I do swear a lot in day-to-day life, but not as much as I seem to do in front of this camera. So, yeah, need to address that. I really do. I never swore that much today.
John, we're going to
think-
move on anyway to our next section, and it's music news, because we're entertainment news now. We can talk about what we want as long as it's entertainment. That's
And I do love speaking about this man here.
entertainment. Yeah, we're talking about Dave Grohl.
I was
and
just watching Nirvana's MTV Unplugged
yeah, again.
last night. I
You
watched
like
it.
that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I love Stephen Kurt Cobain. Man's guitar he used, and I was intrigued by that guitar. What a guitar it is. 1959 Martin, incidentally.
Left-handed.
Left-handed.
Mm.
That guitar sold for $6 million to the owner of Rode Microphones.
Yeah.
He bought that guitar.
Why not?
Someone bought the cardigan for fucking $200,000 or something like that.
That was a nice cardigan. I
It was a
like
nice
that.
cardigan,
Yeah.
but not $200,000 fucking dollars. But it's just there's
If
something
you've
about
got it, John, you would do that though, wouldn't you? If
Yeah,
you
I
had
mean,
that
it's
kind of
just-
money.
something about cut. Look at my fucking. I look like the guy from There's Something About Mary now. I've been scratching my neck that much. Look at that. 28 days later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Better watch. We're going to talk about Dave Grohl anyway, John. I know you've seen him live with obviously the Foo Fighters, but this is all about a new Dave Grohl comic book. This is coming in from NME, and it's the latest in the Orbit collection, which has already published books on
John Lennon,
on Ozzy Osbourne, John Lennon, and
Ozzy
more.
Osbourne.
Now,
Ozzy's got Parkinson's. Do you know that?
Yeah.
And he blames it on a demonic doll that he insulted.
Okay.
I think the doll's called Bobby or something. He bought a sort of merchandise version, like a fucking, what would you call it? A replica.
A replica, yeah.
And he threw it across the room, and he blames that bad luck on him getting Parkinson's. It's not the fact that he was biting fucking bats' heads off and taking copious amounts of drugs for its 50 years of his life. It was a demonic doll. That doll's fucking creepy though. Don't look it up.
A synopsis for Grohl's book says that the world of rock and roll shook with the arrival of David Grohl, from his time on drums with Nirvana to the creation of the Foo Fighters. Grohl has captivated fans across the planet. This comic gives a glimpse of all that is Grohl. It will transport you to him playing with Iggy Pop, his record appearances on Saturday Night Live.
In at least one of those pages, and I will be most displeased.
His face-off on drums with the Muppets, Animal, and so much more. Grohl continues to jam. Grohl continues to inspire. Grohl is rock. Writer Adam Rose added,
life.
Diving into the genius of Dave Grohl can only be described with one word: awe. His life and body of work are an incredible story to explore.
Really
is there
are.
any
there is.
screenshots, John? Yeah.
I think that's
because it's not coming up mine because I'm using my iPad.
Also, you've got the Foos there, the late great Taylor Hawkins.
That's some artwork. That is
Nate
really
Mendel,
nice. I like that.
Pat Smear.
John, I watched Dave Grohl again. I'd seen him on Hot Ones. This was obviously before Taylor passed away. I think it was maybe about a week or two, and he was phenomenal on it.
Yeah,
it's one of the times I've seen Sean Evans, the presenter, let his guard down and get drunk.
Yeah,
it was just great. But I think that's the kind of guy he is. He can do that to
you, man.
He can relax you, just be in his company.
If you were to offer me the choice of getting out on a night out with anybody on this planet, it'd be that man. I would go out on a night out with that guy. It would be the fucking greatest night of your life. He'd be steaming drunk, and it'd just be brilliant.
He said on the show that tomorrow he's going to Narnia, and Sean's like, Narnia? Yeah. What do you mean? Narnia your business? Just the way he told it, it's fantastic.
He's fucking great,
John,
man.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about, do you think this will work, this medium, for something like this subject? Because in the past, and particularly maybe so more with animation, I don't think it's worked with like rock bands, pop bands, where they've transferred over to a different medium. Is there something about obviously music and the art and having that sort of soul and energy that cannot be replicated in book form or anything like that? The personalities. Do you think this is something that will work?
I don't know. I'd have to go and look at the other books, to be honest with you, to see if they've captured the likes of Ozzy or John Lennon. But he's had such a rich career, Stephen. 30 odd years now.
Yeah.
Late 80s, mid 80s. I think he was with Scream, was it? I think he took Nate Mendel from Scream. Was he with Scream?
I didn't know that.
Punk rock band from Washington. He was in the sort of punk scene anyway. And then obviously his transition to being the drummer for Nirvana into the Foos, the loss of Kurt Cobain, how that impacted his life, took a hiatus. And then from this indie band right up to like fucking selling stadiums, global phenomenon that is the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
And just his life, man, the character he is, it's definitely one of the richer lives to maybe chart in comic book form. Stephen, he always strikes me as like the last of that kind of era, sort of Lemmys, guys like that, the rock stars, who just live life on the fucking edge, man. Drugged out their nut, hitting the alcohol. I don't think he was ever a mad druggie.
Yeah.
But he just strikes me as one of the last really out there rock
carrying it himself, isn't he? Like carrying the sort of that time.
Also, he's a father now. He's got 2 daughters, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's not so much out there anymore. But his life's very rich, man. And there's a story to be told there. And if it's in comic book, sort of graphic novel form, I'm all for it.
It's funny, John, because obviously Foo Fighters has surpassed Nirvana. Maybe not obviously as big as Nirvana, but there is times when I watch Dave Grohl in the Foo Fighters and I actually forget that he was in Nirvana, and maybe that's a good thing in a way. Certainly for him, I think it's a good thing that people can separate those identities that he had in being the drummer in probably the biggest band at the time in the world. Not arguably, they were the biggest band, and that was a period when U2 and R.E.M. were out as well. Massive R.E.M. fan, but I do think that period between probably peak time 92 to 94 for Nirvana was probably no one can touch them. And you forget that phenomenon, because it was such a long time ago. You're talking over 30 years now. It's been 28 years since Kurt Cobain passed away, and sometimes you've got to remind yourself this guy had a career and was projected into rock stardom at a young age as well. He must have been only mid-20s at the time.
Yeah, I think he was early 20s, because he's like 50 something now, 53 just now, something like that. So you think back, it's like 30 years ago.
And you're thinking, boy, you're going to carry that weight a long time, being in that band, But
21, 22.
He picked himself up, dusted himself down, and created the Foo Fighters. John, I think he was a bit of a UFO nut. I think that's where the name came from.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters fighting the Foo.
Yeah,
I think he says he regrets picking that name.
Well, I don't know why.
It's a bit corny.
I don't think so. I think it's a great name.
But it perfectly sums them up, Steve, because they don't take themselves that seriously as a band. They do take themselves seriously. There's a brilliant 1999 sort of acoustic session, I think it was in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And he's interviewed just before he does an acoustic version of, blank on the name, why am I blank on the name? Everlong. And he says that we do take this very seriously. When we get down to recording, it's the most fucking serious thing in his life.
It's only when he hangs out with Jack Black.
But he's a larger than life sort of funny guy. And obviously all the band, there's Taylor Hawkins, when he was here, there were all these huge personalities and quite corny. That's how all the videos are so iconic and memorable.
The likes of Big Me, John, which was a very corny song,
a
very
Mentos.
Corny video as well. Yeah, the Mentos, Futos, or what they're called.
Yeah.
It was such a cheesy
He regretted
video.
that as well, because he were getting hit with them at fucking concerts.
Yeah.
After that.
Okay, right.
Yeah, but yeah, man, the videos are fucking amazing. Right up until like fairly recently, the one in the care home, the old folks home. Yeah. They've been doing these amazing videos. So for me, the name always fit.
Yeah, I
sort
think
of personality of the band members. They were all quite relaxed, funny, chill
tonally,
guys.
John, they've always reminded me so much like the way the Beastie Boys were as well.
Yeah.
Like, well, they were great musicians and produced some great music, but at the same time didn't take themselves serious enough. I don't know whether
they have become more mainstream now. Like the last 10 years, very mainstream.
Yeah, it happens though, doesn't it?
But Steve, the first 3 albums are fucking, for me, right up there with some of the greatest albums ever made. Obviously, the first one, Foo Fighters, was just Dave.
Yeah,
recording
the one with the ray gun.
The sort of ray gun. Yeah, it was a demo tape. He did all the parts. It shows you the kind of musician you're dealing with here. And it goes back to what he says about Nirvana.
Yeah.
He was a drummer.
Yep.
And the talent of a man, just hiding there, waiting to come out. By all accounts, Kurt wanted to actually take some of his songs, but he's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's your band.
Yeah.
So that, getting back to it, man, he's got that life. It's a very full life, personally.
A lot of content there,
professionally.
isn't there?
There's loads to mine into. Just his fucking personality, the whole fresh pot thing in the early 2000s, when he's addicted to rocket fuel coffee and he's constantly drinking it. If you go onto YouTube and search up Dave Grohl fresh pot, every minute he's shouting fresh pot, wanting another cup of coffee.
Do we know what kind of coffee it was?
We don't, but
No.
it strikes me as much like John Lennon.
Yeah.
Very addictive.
Yeah.
And he chose coffee because it's the lesser of many evils.
Yeah, definitely.
But man, I'm well up for fucking buying this. Obviously, as you says, I went to see them.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure watching him. He'd broke his leg at the time.
He was on the throne, wasn't he?
He was sitting on a throne. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I can say I've seen half of Nirvana. It's maybe not the best half, but I've seen half of Nirvana live as well. Pat Smear's fucking amazing. I love Pat Smear, man.
Yeah.
But it's not Kurt Cobain. It's
John,
not
you see
Christopher
Pat
Novoselic.
Smear in that acoustic set that you just mentioned, and he was a big part of that.
The sort of American flag.
Yeah, that iconic guitar he used, wasn't it?
Was it a Chile flag? I don't know.
It looked like Chile, but I'm not sure. It might have just been white, red and blue, I'm not sure.
And Pat's the same age as my father and my mother.
Yeah.
Crazy. 63.
Yeah, he's always had that bleach blonde hair, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I don't know if he's still got it, but...
And obviously Dave's a huge Beatles man.
Yeah.
And I always say the you can really measure an individual on the choices they make in life in terms of what they're into musically and in other areas. And if you like the Beatles, that's usually a fucking good sign that you're sound. I always go back to Graham Coxon. in the quote, he holds a deep mistrust for anyone that doesn't like the Beatles. And if you don't like the Beatles, don't take that as a personal attack. Just know that I'm fucking judging you. Because the Beatles
I'm right and you're wrong.
The Beatles are fucking great.
Yeah. You're all wrong.
Dave gave his kids the fucking mono.
Yeah, the box sets,
box sets of the Beatles. That's another reason to just love them.
Wish somebody would do that with me, but Dave...
You don't want them now,
Dave,
Stephen.
Could you be my dad?
You don't want them now, Stephen.
Nah,
you
don't need them.
You're the man. I'm blanking on his name. I do it all
Giles.
the time. Giles Martin.
John Rubber Soul will be coming out shortly, I think. Yeah, I think this year.
He's doing the albums right now.
It's good that they're working back way right to the beginning, because we're getting more into sort of Lennon sort of period.
Yeah.
I feel,
that neck's getting worse. Wow, I shouldn't have scratched my neck.
Yeah, John, that was nippy. Yeah,
I've scratched the hell out of it.
Yeah, you're going to have to get some ice on that. Maybe put your bottle of water on
Stephen,
there.
I says to you when Revolver came out, Revolver came out, that's the drink kicking in. I've only had one, lightweight, not like I used to be. When Revolver came out, I says this isn't as good as the remasters from 2009. I'm talking shit. Had Dolby Atmos on. You have to turn up a bit.
Yeah, you put
the mix is much better.
It's phenomenal.
It's much better. Giles knows what he's fucking doing.
Even the outtake stuff's phenomenal, John. But we're going to move on to our final topic of this evening, and it's gaming news. And it's GTA 6 trailer leak has fans freaking out. We're freaking out here because we've been waiting 10 years for this bloody game to arrive.
And it'll not come out in PC for like another year after it comes out in the console. So this will be my reason to go and buy a console.
Yeah.
And I will.
Yeah, the Xbox.
It will be the Xbox. Because I have to, because obviously you're on the Xbox, so we need to...
John, how much fun we've had over
the
years with GTA, but we'll get into that in a little moment. I'll just obviously explain what's going down here, and this is coming in from comicbook.com. A new GTA 6 trailer leaked has Grand Theft Auto fans freaking out after confirmed a new Grand Theft Auto game was in development early last year. Rockstar Games hasn't said a peep about the project. When this will change, we don't know. But until it does, Grand Theft Auto fans have plenty of rumours and leaks to sift through. The latest comes from a source with a dubious track record, though they did reveal that one of the two main characters, the female protagonist, was named Lucia before the information leaked. According to this same source, San and Play, a YouTuber with over 1 million subs, the trailer features a passing plane, a lizard crossing the street, Lucia in prison exercising, dogs playing, and a little dog rolling around on the beach.
Sounds like my kind of game.
It's unclear if this sequential, if this is sequential, and is also unclear if this is describing the opening of the trailer or just a random piece of it.
This could be like the intro.
Yeah, you get that, don't you? It's almost
moments.
like a build-up, isn't it, of where the story's going to go before you actually get into the gameplay, and then you get all this sort of intercut scenes. And the details themselves may sound completely random and unlike anything you'd see in a GTA 6 reveal trailer. However, GTA 5's reveal trailer was almost exclusively random B-roll. In other words, it wouldn't be surprising if the scenes of dogs playing on the beach and lizards crossing the road end up in the reveal trailer. Unfortunately, while San and Play has shared these details, they haven't shared the actual trailer. Nor have they divulged how they come across these details. If this is all true, though, it means a trailer for the game is already made and thus could be revealed soon. Assuming it's not footage from an internal trailer meant for investors or footage from a scrap trailer. And there's a Twitter link. I'm not going to read any more, John, because
I brought it up just to sort of
because
translate it, but
in terms of Rockstar, John, 2 calendar years separate the reveal of Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 from their respective releases. In other words, Rockstar Games' last 2 games were revealed 2 years before their release, which would mean if GTA 6 is revealed this year, then it'd be 2025 release becomes very likely.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because that's almost like mid-cycle.
I'm almost 50.
It's like mid-cycle.
Yeah,
Steve.
John, GTA though, I mean, we've grew up with it, haven't we, really? When you think about it.
We have, yeah. I mean,
since
I
1997, the first one came out.
I remember it. I remember the top down. I was obsessed. I don't think it was the first one I played. I think it was London.
London was phenomenal.
On the PlayStation, the original PlayStation.
Cars, yeah.
Little minis.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking mind-bending to see that sort of level of freedom, being able to go in now. Here's your money. Give me your money.
Yeah, I mean,
give me your wallet.
I can't remember many games at that time. There probably will be ones out there, but I don't recall too many where you were sort of the villain of the game.
No.
You know, you could just create havoc, run people down, and get chased with the cops. You were always on the sort of law side of things in computer games, weren't you?
The games that I think of back then were like fucking Mario and Tomb Raider,
Sonic,
stuff like that. It wasn't really like this
Zelda.
gritty,
lived-in
world that you were able to sort of make impacts on, or impact upon.
Yeah.
That's the best English I can come up with in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's butchered. But it was revolutionary, Stephen, and obviously a Scottish studio,
Yeah.
a developer in Rockstar, based in Dundee, I believe, and then Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Still got studios in Edinburgh.
Yeah, we went past
this
them
day.
a couple of years ago, yeah.
And it was an all-Scottish, pretty much, sort of development team, so it's close to our hearts, this company, the game, and the way it's grown and evolved over the last fucking 20 years or so. It's remarkable, and I'm talking about Red Dead as well on that. Because we've not had a GTA game in like 10 years.
Yeah.
But the development, their ability to create these incredibly detailed and rich environments. Red Dead, man, is unbelievable. The single player experience, at least anyway, the detail. It's a living, breathing world. It's always evolving. And if you kill someone, it has ramifications. They ain't coming back. That's what I want to see, obviously, in story sort of terms in this new
Story
GTA.
mode, yeah.
The online speaks for itself. GTA 5 has been doing it, and obviously the modding side of things, you've got these RP servers online. You see the likes of fucking Twitch streamers going on, and they're living in a sort of RP world and playing characters, and it's fucking great, man. It's great to watch it, the detail. This is all built on the framework of a 10-year-old game. Can you imagine what's going to be possible in this new release that's set to come out? It's always a moment, Steve, when a trailer drops. It's always huge to the video game industry as well when a GTA game comes out.
I think you've got to remember as well, John,
billions of dollars.
In terms of game developers, they've got to work in tandem with the console makers as well, to make sure that these consoles can actually play these games, and there's got to be some communication between Sony and Microsoft in terms of the two big consoles with the developers, not just Rockstar, all developers, and what's capable, because obviously when they're developing these games, they want to make them as best as possible, but I would imagine that's mostly on like PCs they're developing these games.
Yeah.
But they want to obviously make sure that they transfer across as smoothly as possible onto obviously consoles, which it's more of a consumer's.
It's the most popular market.
I would say in terms of the populace, it definitely is more console.
It's cheaper, Stephen.
PCs.
I mean, the consoles cost like £500-600.
Yeah.
Whereas in a fucking gaming PC, just to get like a medium tier graphics card, you're talking like £600.
Yeah.
To get like a top of the range one, it's like fucking £1,300, £1,200, £2,000 for a top of the range graphics card. That's just the graphics card, because I'm trying to upgrade my graphics card and it ain't going to fucking happen for a long time. And then you've got processors and fucking all these different things, man. It is extortionate. I was pricing up a new PC. It was like £3,000.
So join our Patreon, guys.
£3,000.
Help us out.
For a PC.
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
just to beat the one I've got. And I've got a fucking good one just now. Very, very fucking good. But it's creaking. And it's time for me to get a new one. But you're right, Stephen, where I'm going with that is that's a niche. That's still a niche market in terms of the gaming audience. Most people are definitely on PlayStation or on Xbox in some form, and that's where they're always going to focus their attention in terms of these releases. That's why they always get priority, and it will be like a year later or 6 months later they stagger out the PC release, and it always winds up all the PC gamers.
Yeah,
because they're like the PC master race.
Yeah, I can imagine that,
like that
though. I mean, it's very frustrating if you're on a PC and you don't have the console. But I always recall when GTA 5 Online came out, the chaos it created with just bottlenecking with people trying to connect. John, we tried it for almost a week and lost the plot. Absolutely lost the plot. I always remember
my character.
My character getting into a sort of little car park and just standing with other people, and nothing would happen. It just wasn't ready. It just wasn't ready for that demand. I hope they're going to be ready this time.
I just hope the customization is there as well, Stephen, in terms of the characters. I hope you can customise height and stuff like that. This is the next step. Because I want to see little dwarf characters running around. I want to see incredibly tall characters running around. It's like FIFA
John,
online, the My Player stuff.
Thinking about the other day, my daughter was playing GTA, and one of the things I noticed was that the women in the game don't fight back. You don't, the guy, if you bump into a guy, he'll square go you.
Yeah.
The women run away in that, and that's not realistic.
Yeah.
They would
No, I
take
mean,
you on.
they will. They'll
Especially in LA.
especially in fucking Scotland. You try your shit, you'll get probably a bigger beating off of a woman here than you will of a man. They will fucking slap you senseless, man. You don't fuck with a Glaswegian woman
Bird.
for a bird,
Yeah.
a senga.
Yeah.
That's another word for a Ned, which is a non-educated delinquent. Castellar Garcia Stephen says Fraser is great on Doom Patrol. Love the sequel series of Quantum Leap. You are a huge Quantum Leap fan, aren't you?
It's not Scott Bakula though. So, and unfortunately, Dean Stockwell passed away last year. I think who
Did he?
played Al the hologram. John, came back to 1993. The way that ended was terrible. It was just
You told me about that, yeah.
the studio cancelled it, and it was probably at its peak. It was
It's crazy, isn't it? That's what Netflix are doing just
That's
now.
what they do in America, though, isn't it? Scott Bakula obviously went on to do Star Trek and projects like that. But
What, The Next Generation?
he had his own series. He was
Did he?
Jonathan. I can't remember. Captain Jonathan. I can't remember his
Was
name.
that Discovery or something? Or
I think it was-
Battlestar Deep Space Nine or
I
something?
think it
like
was Discovery. I think
Voyager?
it was.
that? No, that was the female one, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I think
Jane?
it was. I think it was Discovery. But yeah, I mean, just getting back to Quantum Leap. Yeah, I was going to get the box set at one point, but I just felt I don't know if I want to revisit it because it'll probably not be as good as I remember it. Probably very cheesy at the time. It'll be a lot more cheesier now, but loved it at the time. It was a great concept. But I hope this new series, this sequel or whatever, it's a reboot. I don't know what it's called. Obviously succeeds. Maybe the plot could be that they're looking for Sam, aka Scott Bakula, because he was never found. Terrible, heartbreaking stuff. But
Stephen, you told me about that. That was a real moment of
it was shocking.
heartache. That was a traumatic moment.
I always remember the closing title card saying Dr. Sam Beckett never returned. I'm like, I'm watching this for 5 years. What are you doing?
Stephen, I've experienced something similar to that with the X-Files.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you. It's like review, brah. The little guy. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. When he got these sort of like chicken things and they were shit.
Yeah.
My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. That was my disappointment was immeasurable and my entire month was ruined.
Mulder, yeah.
Fucking sister
Yeah.
of Fox Mulder. Been balding up for like 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Incredible fucking movie in between.
Yeah.
The absolute fucking pinnacle of X-Files was like season 5, I think, wasn't it? 4, 5, 5, 6 with the movie in between. I was glued. And then you had the Foo Fighters going back to Dave Grohl, Walking After You is the sort of song.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. Loving this.
Yeah.
Was she abducted with aliens? What happened? They just fucking drop it. It's like some mad paedophile abducted. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
It was
and it went all downhill after that.
it was very sad, wasn't it?
And they had to bring in fucking your man,
Robert Patrick
to fucking save it. Because David was going off and trying to be a Hollywood actor.
Conquer Hollywood, and it never happened.
He didn't. Well, he didn't.
Well, he didn't. Yeah.
Charles Martin.
Yeah, John, that's all I've got to say in GTA 6. I'm looking forward to that. If anything comes of this, I'm not really holding up much hope at the moment.
Steve, do you want to see the customization online though? Do you want to be able to, obviously, maybe even having a situation whereby if you eat too little, you get thin and emaciated. If you eat too much, you become obese.
Yeah.
Because obviously we had a little inklings of that in the current release.
Yeah.
If you drank too much, you get drunk.
Yeah.
Would you like to see
I would like
them
to see
expand
that,
out in that in terms of online?
Well, every
Obviously,
action has a equal and opposite reaction.
You want to see the
that's
hype
real world, so do it in GTA as well.
Because I'd be running about like a little Warwick Davis, just murdering people left, right and centre.
Yeah, why not?
Just fucking shooting people and then like Yoda.
Yeah.
Somersaulting
Remember my
out a
name?
shot.
Willock.
Apparently Will was fucking great, by the way.
Yeah.
People were getting after it saying it was shit, this is a joke, this is besmirching the original movie. Now they're starting to say actually it's slow burn and it's getting very, very good.
Yeah.
Another show I want to watch, The Last of Us. That is what it's called. The Last of Us, the adaptation. Apparently fucking amazing.
Yeah.
HBO, it's on Sky. May have to do a watch along to that, Stephen.
Maybe, yeah.
If Rupert Murdoch will allow us to capture, and that's not a given,
No.
we may have to do a watch along to The Last of Us.
For anyone.
Well, he's not done anything for Britain, that's for sure. The little bespeckled fuck. So yeah,
Who's not from Britain?
he's not from. No, he's an Antipodean. Stop fucking meddling in our affairs, you little fuck. Anyway, we're going to end on that note.
Yes, like
before I say something I regret about Rupert. I'm not a fan of him. A lot of the Isles in the United Kingdom of Great Britain, I'm not going to say Northern Ireland because that should be Ireland, are down to that, man. What's your thoughts on the topics we touched upon? The show's over. What do you make? It's been that long. I've actually forgotten what we spoke about. Brendan Fraser. Winning the Best Actor at the Critics' Choice Awards, the 28th, I believe it is, Critics' Choice Awards, going way back to 1995. What's your thoughts on his emotional speech? The man has been in a sea of darkness. He stood up and walked to the light, and he was given a chance by David Aronofsky.
Aronofsky.
Brilliant speech, brilliant performance by all accounts. Really looking forward to seeing The Whale. Have you seen it? What's your thoughts on him winning? Thoughts on Austin Butler being incredibly disappointed by all accounts. It's not been a good week for Austin.
No.
Lisa Marie, we've never even spoken about Lisa Marie incident.
No.
That's usually something we do at the start of a show. That was tragic. Her passing away. Real fucking shame. What's your thoughts now? You can comment down below. What do you make about Barry Keoghan, or Keoghan, however you say his name? Sort of try to will into existence, into the universe, a sizeable role in the Batman sequel as Joker, of course. Share your thoughts about that. Share your thoughts about Dave Grohl getting a fucking comic made about his life and career. Finally, GTA 6, a potential trailer on the horizon. Are you looking forward to that? Anything you feel compelled to share can go down below in the comment section. That's the place to share your thoughts. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Hit the follow button to get hit the follow button and notifications button over on Twitch to see us over there doing our thing. All that's left to say is thank you to Sin for coming in, Biffer the Hobbit, Castellar. Thank you for the comments, do appreciate it. But me and Stephen are done.
Yeah.
Till next time.